Hello friends, today we are here with our 7th chapter, that is Print Culture and the Modern World, and today we will discuss the third part of this chapter. So friend, in this video we will talk about new forms of publication and print and censorship. So friend, let's start with new forms of publications. Friend, now, printing created an appetite for the new kind of writing. So friends, till now, more people could read and they wanted to see their own life, experiences, emotion and relationship same as they are reflected in what they read. Now friend, novel, a literary form in the Europe created to this need. And friend, other new literary form also entered the world of reading, and they were lyrics, short stories, essay and political matters. So friends, now let's move ahead and continue our discussion on new forms of publications. Friend, at the end of 19th century, a visual image for the mass circulation was taking place, and Raja Ravi Verma, who was a painter, produced the mass copies. Friend, poor could now buy cheap calendars to decorate their houses, and by 1870s, caricature and cartoons were published in journal and newspaper commenting on social and political issues. Now friends, let's move ahead and continue our discussion with new form of publications. Friend, now we will talk about women and print. Friend, in mid of 19th century, women started to going to school after they had separate school for women, and this lead to the increase in reading ratio among women. Friend, they also carried syllabus and reading material for home based school and learning. फ्रेंड, इस टाइम तक जो हस्बैंड एंड फादर लिबरल थे वो वुमेन के एजुकेशन को प्रमोट करने लगे, एंड इन फैक्ट मेनी जनरल आल्सो बिगैन राइटिंग अबाउट व्हाई एजुकेशन फॉर वुमेन इज नीडेड. But friend, in opposite to this, all families were not liberal. Yeah, the mentality of everyone was not liberal. Conservative Hindu believed that literate girl would be widowed, and Muslim feared that educated women would be corrupted by reading. Now friends, let's move ahead and continue our discussion on new forms of publication. We are talking about women and print. Friend, in 19th century, women learned to read in the secrecy of her kitchen, and in East Bengal, Vasundhari Devi, young married girl in very orthodox household, wrote her autobiography named as Amar Jeevan, which was published in 1876 in Bengali language. Now friends, let's move ahead and continue our discussion on women and print. Friend, in 1860s in Bengal, Kailashwani Devi wrote book highlighting the experiences of women, and in 1880s in Maharashtra, Tarabai Shinde and Pandita Rambabai wrote with a passionate anger about miserable life of upper class Hindu women, especially the widow one. Now friends, let's move ahead and continue our discussion on new forms of publication. Now we will talk about print and poor people. Friend, in 19th century, cheap small books in market were sold at crossroads, and early 20th century, public libraries were set up, expanding access to the book. And for rich, setting up library was way to acquire prestige in the society. Friend, Jyotibai Phule, Maratha pioneer of low caste protest movement, wrote about injustice of caste system in his Gulamgiri. Friend, now let's move ahead and continue our discussion on new form of publication. And we are talking about print and poor people. Friend, 20th century में B.R. Ambedkar in Maharashtra and E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar in Madras wrote powerfully on caste, and their writing were read by all the people over the India. Friend, Kashi Baba, a Kanpur mill worker, wrote and published Chota aur Bade Ka Sawal in 1938, only to show the link between caste and caste exploitation. Now friends, let's move ahead and now continue our discussion on new form of publication. Friends, we are talking about print and poor people. Friend, the poem of another Kanpur mill worker who wrote under the name of Sudarshan Chakra between 1935 and 1955 were brought together and published in the collection called as Sachi Kavitaएं. Friend, by 1930, Bangalore cotton mill worker set up library to educate themselves following an example of Bombay workers. Now friends, let's move ahead and now we will talk about print and censorship. Friend, before 1798, colonial state under East India Company were not too concerned with the censorship. So, early measures to control printed matter were directed against Englishmen in India who were critical of company's misrule and hated the action of particular company officers. Now friends, let's move ahead and continue our discussion with print and censorship. Friend, 1820 में regulation to control press freedom was passed and company encouraged publication that would celebrate British rule. And friend, 1835 में faced with the urgent petition by editors of English and vernacular newspaper, Governor General Bentinck agreed to revise press law. Now friends, let's move ahead and continue our discussion with print and censorship. Friend, vernacular press become nationalist and government brought stringent measures. Friend, 1878 में Vernacular Press Act was passed, modeled on Irish press law, and it provided with the extensive right to censor report in vernacular press and strict control by the government. Now friends, let's move ahead and continue our discussion with print and censorship. Friend, nationalist newspaper reported on colonial misrule and encouraged nationalist activities. Because of this, it led to renewed cycle of protest. Friend, when Punjab revolutionaries were deported in 1907, Bal Gangadhar Tilak wrote with a great sympathy about them in his Kesari, and because of this action, this led to him imprisonment in 1908, provoking in return widespread protest all over the India. Now friends, let's move ahead and now we will discuss what we have learned in this video. So friend, we have learnt about new form of publication and print censorship. And reference is History Class 10 textbook. Friend, in next video, we will solve question and answer. Till then, thank you.